Good afternoon, and welcome back to The Siege, or good morning, good evening, and welcome back. How are you all doing, folks? Hi, hoi. My hair, I tell you, never does what I want. Hi, and welcome back. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Is it? Yes, Tuesday. Okay, my calendar is telling me it's Tuesday, so I believe it. For now, at least. Never trust the calendar. They're always trying to tell you what to do. Good morning, Sakram, and good day to everyone lurking in the shadows. Welcome in. Boy, we are back with gaming news today. Who would have thought? We didn't have gaming news, I think, since Thursday? Wednesday? I think we didn't have gaming news since Wednesday. I think maybe Thursday. I'm not quite sure. But the good news is, if you're like, yeah, man, I've missed out on all the gaming news. Well, there wasn't any. There wasn't really any. The only gaming news we really had was yesterday. Like on Monday, we got some news which are not Cyberpunk related. But that's about it. Like it's like when Cyberpunk came out, the gaming news world basically crawled to a halt. Like everybody was just like, should we release this news? Like, should we want to make an announcement? Are you crazy? It's Cyberpunk release. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, let's not do that. That's basically what happened. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's how the conversation did go. But yeah, here we are again with more news. There might be some Cyberpunk, but after we are done with the news, I will end the stream because I might actually meet up with a friend. Yay, guess. And maybe I'm coming back later, like yesterday evening, right? I started relatively late and then nearly streamed for 4 hours again. that's to the day where I don't stream, right? Like, yeah, folks, I'm not streaming, and then 4 hours later, I'm sitting here and streaming. What can I do? It's Cyberpunk, man. I love the game. Even though with all the issues it has, and we had some hilarious bugs yesterday, it's still a lovely game. So, yeah, what can I do? So, yeah, I might actually come back this evening and then just play some more Cyberpunk till I realize it's already like 2 a.m. in the morning, and I'm like, wait, I'm still streaming at 2 a.m. in the morning? Oh, that's bad. Oh, I maybe should stop here. Oh, that's the worst, man. Like, yesterday, I only realized that it got really late because, not that I did get sleepy or anything, but I got a little bit hungry. And normally I'm eating like a bun, like a small bun this size, right? And that is like, that's what I eat in the evening if I'm getting hungry. And I was like, I'm getting hungry. How late is it? And then I was looking actually at the clock, and I was like, wait, I started the stream nearly 4 hours ago. Where did my time go? What happened? Who did steal my time? Who was it? Who has my time? Show me the time. But yeah, that game is eating up my life. as I expected it. Yes, Sakura, you did steal my time? Give my time back. What the hell? What the hell? As a moderator, I thought better of you instead of stealing my time. So disappointed. So disappointed. I'm a time bandit. Oh my god, what is it? Momo and the Grey Man or something like that? Oh god. Oh god. Flashbacks. Childhood. Yeah. You know, it's like, that game is like, see, the Terry Gilliam movie. Oh, let me see what the name actually is. I don't know the English name. Oh, Momo and the Grey Gentleman. Oh, or the Man in Grey. It's just Momo. Interesting. Huh. It's a fantasy novel here, which was actually done in Germany in 1973. And it's like, yeah, really, really interesting. It's a novel about the concept of time and how it is used by humans in modern society. And basically, it's about like time thieves, and Momo, who is a child, is actually like trying to get back the time. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's also like a TV show, I think. Like they made like a comic show or something about it. Yeah. It's a pretty well known book here in Germany. Huh. It's cool. But back to the topic of Cyberpunk. Man, I really really enjoyed the game, and I think it was a good decision to have like just like thinking about it. It was actually good by Cyberpunk to be released by the end of the year because there are no other games coming out, and I can just really investigate all my time in it. I don't have to feel bad about it or anything. And more importantly, because I'm also taking my days off, I can just do whatever I want with the game. I don't have to put like multiple hours in gaming news and then only stream Cyberpunk for 2 hours or something like that. Like again, I know that the game is not helping to boost my channel in any shape or form. I'm clearly aware of that because like everybody is doing a let's play, like everybody is uploading Cyberpunk stuff on YouTube. But the point is, I just love to play it. That's the point. Like I don't care. Like this is actually one of those games which is for me. Like whenever we are playing games, of course they are also for me. Like I'm not playing games I do not enjoy, right? Like to make that absolutely clear. Like I always made that clear. But this is actually one of those games where I don't care at all really what the number is at the end of the day, or how did it help me to climb the ranks on YouTube or anything. It's really just me playing the game and enjoy it. Like I don't even look at the numbers. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Like this is for me. This is my vacation game. And That's it. Yeah. And then next year, like we have like, well, I have like tons of stuff planned for next year, and yeah, this is my vacation. I believe at least earned myself after 4 years of not having a vacation at all and just being in work mode all the time. So I still appreciate all the people who are hanging out here and who are still coming back, even though I might be a little bit in vacation mode. I know this is vacation. It's rather interesting how by design, and this is not just from people, this is like from the websites themselves. Vacation is not really something which is planned. Like taking a vacation for like 2 weeks, and let's say you would not upload anything on your YouTube channel or not doing a live stream, like your channel would be dead for 2 weeks. That's not really something YouTube calculated. Like YouTube will punish you severely for that. And it is rather fascinating. It's like, yeah, it's not just viewers who will sometimes disappear when you are not streaming or creating content regularly. It's also the platforms. Because the platforms are like, oh, well, that person didn't do anything in 2 weeks. Well, then I just assume that person moved on or is like not as important anymore for the algorithm. And it's like, no, I just take a vacation. I need to recharge my batteries. And the YouTube algorithm is looking at you and is like, chart, what? Recharge, what? Batteries? Huh? What are you trying to do? So, yeah. It's a weird thing in the influencer world that vacations are not designed by platforms and even communities like live streamers who sometimes lose major parts of their community when they're like gone for like 2 weeks or something, if they are not like the biggest streamer on the platform. I was like, yeah, like people need sometimes vacations. Like 24/7 work is not applicable. Like it doesn't work. So yeah, just. But yeah, this is why I take like days off and just do whatever I like. And playing some Cyberpunk apparently for 4 hours. Why am I so bad? Why am I so bad? But what else? What else? Yeah, we have to find a middle ground basically. Did I do anything really? I played Cyberpunk for 4 hours. I did some shopping yesterday because, well, today is basically the last day before the big lockdown here. So we have a hard lockdown coming up tomorrow, and that means literally everything closes. Everything besides of grocery stores. Like the only thing which stays open is grocery stores, and everything else is shutting down. Like everything. Like nothing stays open. And they even limit like the amount of people you're allowed to see. And yeah, like we are going into a hard lockdown. And they should have done that sooner, if somebody is asking me. They should have done that so much sooner. That was a waste of time they actually did with the soft lockdown, as they called it. I was like, why did you waste the time on that? Well, we all know why. We all know why. Because the economy, boo-hoo. I was like, yeah, but people are dying and more people are dying, more people are getting affected, more people are dying, like, folks, the curve is going like this, not this. So screw like all of that, when people are dying left and right and the numbers are going up and up and up. I was like, maybe you want to react on that. So yeah, we are going into a hard lockdown, and then for whatever stupid reason, because it's Christmas, we are removing the lockdown for 3 days so people can meet up with their families and can do stuff. And it's like, what? Did you had like a talk with the virus and be like, hey virus, on Christmas, can you for 3 days stop to infect people and murder them? Is that possible? Oh yeah, that's absolutely no problem, man. You just should have had talk to me. You celebrate Christmas? Yeah, no problem. I would just not murder people. Cool. I was like, what? This is so dumb. It is so dumb. Yeah, they I don't know. I don't understand it. Because it's Christmas. And it's like, it's a major holiday here. Right? And the 3 days of Christmas, the 24th, the 25th, and the 26th, it's like, we have seen our families for hundreds of years, so yay. It's like, no, like, I mean, I'm, as you know, I'm a person who really hates the whole thing of that's how it's always has been, right? And hates the whole idea of like, oh, tradition, that's tradition. Yeah, but if we are not careful, then it becomes a tradition that people are dying on Christmas because of a freaking virus. Like, what's the choice here? One Christmas not celebrating as usual and saving thousands of lives? Or because killing maybe thousands of people just so you had your tradition? Let me answer that question. I take the first. Like, no, it's dumb. But hey. And this is the weirdest part, on New Year, the lockdown stays in effect. Because that's apparently a thing which is not celebratable, because the virus could attack people and then too many people could come together and celebrate. And it's like, you do realize that people celebrate New Year here a lot like Christmas when it comes to meeting the people. Like, you haven't really thought that through, haven't you? No, you didn't. Yeah. Again, it's dumb. It's absolutely dumb. Oh well. It's like some of the restrictions are so dumb for Christmas. Like, they are letting people into the church or into the churches, right? So they are like, yeah, on Christmas you can visit churches. That's fine. That's cool. But you're not allowed to sing. No singing. It's like, have you ever been to a church, especially on Christmas Eve? What do you think is going on in there? Like, people just praying in silence, and the father is like just reading from the Bible? What? I don't. What? Have you ever been to a church on Christmas? That is not how it works. Also, I think my camera is delayed. Bam! Fixed it. Awesome. Yeah, but it's just dumb. The whole thing is just dumb. It's absolutely dumb. Meh. Oh well. Like, whatever. Whatever. What else? Let me think. Let me think. I didn't really do anything. I'm getting closer and closer in Crusader Kings 3 to unify Africa. I'm pretty much working on that one. Like I'm nearly done with that, unifying Africa. That took me a while. Like that's a project which is running for weeks now. That has been Crusader Kings 3. Yeah, that has been. I think it's nearly a month now. I'm working on that. Oof, it's rough. The problem with Africa is, like, as amazing it is that you have like all these little countries to eat up at the beginning, but the moment you're becoming like a certain grow and a certain size, giggity, attacking small countries is really annoying. Because it's a war, you will win 1000%. But it's always just like such a chore to do it. It's like, oh. Like what I've been starting now to do is whenever I'm starting a war with a country, I'm preparing an abduction, right? I'm trying to abduct the leader. And when the war starts, I basically abduct the leader immediately and I win the war outright. I know it's a cheesy tactic. But if you capture the leader in the war, like, you are gaining a 100%, and then you can just press your claims. But even now, like, I have reached a point where I have only big countries to fight, but I have to fight over those big countries. Like, I have to take away like small pieces. And you always have to wait like 10 years before you can actually start the war against them again. And it's like, it's a little bit annoying. But yeah, I'm slowly getting to the point where I unite Africa. Yup. So that is going, and I'm already established. Some weird stuff is going on. Like, I'm already established now in Spain. Like, I have already some parts in Spain because of the Kingdom War. I have been fighting against one of the big ones. And, you know, sometimes I think I can show you that. Let me show you this. If you have never played Crusader Kings 3, or maybe if you have played Crusader Kings 3, Crusader Kings 3 has this succession line, right? Like, you are marrying with somebody and then you have kids together, hopefully, and then like you are creating a succession line. And depending on how close you are and how much this is your family, because of that, you can gain claims. But you can also gain country parts, right? So that's how it works. And sometimes I have some real issues following the succession line and who is getting what country. Like, I have some real problems with that sometimes. And let me show you what I mean with that. Let me load this up very quickly. Oh, and don't look too much at the interface. Like, I ended up yesterday in a mess. I have to like manage like the countries and whatnot. Like, I got like a lot of countries, and unfortunately it's not too easy to give like countries to your vassals. So you sometimes have to do it one by one. And I was just like, yesterday evening I was like, nah man, nah, I don't want to do that right now. So like my interface is a mess, like everything is like red and everyone is like warning me about things which are happening. I'm aware of that. I will probably fix that today. So don't pay too much attention. So let me show you this very quickly. So as you can see, like, we nearly have completely Africa under control. Like, there's not much left. There's this part left. Then Abbasid. Like, as I said, you unfortunately, like, I have to fight with Abbasid over those parts. And I have to do multiple wars, which is like super annoying. The same goes with the Byzantine Empire. Like, I still have to fight like 4 wars with the Byzantine Empire. And then I'm like relatively established in Spain. Oh yeah, as you can see, I'm fighting also multiple wars. Like, there's just it's a mess right now. I ended this game in a mess. Doesn't really matter too much. But the biggest problem I really have is, so I am in an alliance over here in China, India. Like, one of my, yes, I don't know how that happened. Like, apparently when you are in Africa, you can have like connections with China and India. It's a little bit weird, but U U is my big ally, and I'm trying to meddle a little bit with U here in China. Like, I actually help them to grow quite a bit. But, and this is the weirdest part. Huh? Huh? How did I... How did I get a part of a country here? I sometimes don't understand. Whoops, boops. Well, it's in-game. That's not me, I swear. No, that's in-game. I cannot do anything about that. That's my religion. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, it's the religion I'm running. Weird inheritance. Yeah, it's like, how did I got this country? How did I got this country? It's like, what? What is that? India? I think that's still part of India, isn't it? Yeah, I think this is still part of India. I don't know how I got this. Like, I had a marriage ages ago with some Indians. This is why they are also like, I have some like some country parts which are run by Indians. And because we had like some connections earlier here. And yeah, I got this land and I was like, wait, how did I got this? How did I got this? And there's sometimes no explanation. Like, I didn't got any notification like, hey, you claimed some land or anything. Like, I was literally going over the map at some point, and I was like, wait, what? Is that my country? It's so weird. Especially because, like, I started here. I mean, yeah, this is where I start, right? This is where my main country is. And it's like, how did I? What happened? Oh, so freaking weird sometimes. Like, Crusader Kings 3, there are some things I would love to get some explanations on. And the game is not giving me a lot of explanations, so I'm always like, Europe is a mess. Europe is an absolute mess. Just saying. I don't know what happened here in Europe. Like, normally Europe is a little bit more controlled, but Europe is a mess, especially Italy. Such a, like, I mean, look at Spain. Spain is such a mess. Alba was actually taking over the UK quite a bit. And then England was established, and it seems like England is actually like... Brittany is growing over there in England, which is also interesting. Yeah. Also very interesting, Upland, which is normally Sweden, doesn't exist. Sweden doesn't exist, which is also very, very rare at that point. Like, normally Sweden is like one of the powerhouses here, and they are taking over quite a bit, but not this time. Like, I don't know what happened in this playthrough. Maybe it's because, like, sometimes what Paradox games like to do, and I hate that. I hate that to the core. Normally the Paradox games focusing a little bit more on the player. So wherever you are starting as a country, like, countries around you react a little bit different to the player. I have learned that the hard way in Hearts of Iron 4. Like, wherever you start as a country in Hearts of Iron 4, like, the countries around you react very differently. And mostly hostile. Like, they're trying to keep you in check a little bit more. And I have the feeling this is the same thing with Africa. Like, I started out in Africa, and because of that, it's just weird randomness going on in Europe. Like, I have never seen Europe being that fragmented. There's not a single empire in Europe. Like, yeah, some kingdoms here and there, sure. But nothing beyond that. And it's so rare to see that. Lithuania has been growing, but I think Lithuania actually got hit a bit. Yeah, the same goes with Pannonia, which is Hungary. Yeah, they have been growing a bit. But besides that... yeah, I mean, Byzantine Empire. It's so weird that the Byzantine Empire is becoming that big. Like, they should actually be in the they should actually be in the decline history-wise, but they are not declining. What? No, we are Africa. I'm pretty close in uniting Africa. No, Bavaria is always like a thing, which is, in my playthroughs, is actually really strong. Like, they are taking over quite a bit of Germany and even, like, parts of Europe. Like, Bavaria is actually one of those kingdoms which are hustle. No, I'm this one, and I'm pretty close in uniting Africa. And for whatever reason, I have a country in India. I have no clue how I got that. I I have literally no clue. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, that's the playthrough I have been playing for nearly a month now, and I'm now pretty close to Unite Africa. Yep, pretty close in uniting Africa. And then we are taking Europe. Yeah, yeah. The beer fuels them. Probably. Who's this? King Theodoric of Bavaria. Huh. He doesn't have any children. I mean, he is 21. But his wife is 46. Well, friend, you have a problem. Oh, they're betrothed. Wait, they're not married yet? That's interesting. Why would you marry a 46 one? What? That is such a bad move. That is... what? Does she... weird. Too much of the bee in the decision making? Yeah. It's still weird. Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't... okay, she would not survive for long. Like, she is a drunkard, irritable, reclusive, and obese. Yeah. Yeah. She will not make it for too long. Yeah. Yeah. It's huh? But yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. It's a weird round. It's a weird round. Mm-hmm. Yep. There we go. Good morning, Lemons. Good morning to you. But yeah, that's Crusader Kings 3 doing its weirdness. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, all the weirdness. All right. Do I have anything else to talk about before we jump into the news? I don't think so. Like, I really talked about everything I have on my mind, I think. Yeah. Let's talk about some news, shall we? And... alright. Had to sneeze, if you haven't noticed. Let's talk about the... let's talk about Cyberpunk first.
Early on in Cyberpunk 2077...
yeah, exactly. Shut up. Man, let's have some silent dab. Yes, that's a new thing I'm doing. But man, let's talk about Cyberpunk news. Yeah. let's get some Cyberpunk news here. So Cyberpunk has been released, and good old CDPR has finally issued a statement, an official one, where they are talking again about the release and all the things happening. Let me read this very quickly, and then yes, and they're using this awful background again. It's like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this even? Like, who came up with this background? Dear gamers, first of all, we'd like to start by apologizing to you for not showing the game on the base last-gen consoles before it premiered, and in consequence, not allowing you to make a more informed decision about your purchase. We should have paid more attention to making it play better on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Second, we will fix bugs and crashes and improve the overall experience. The first round of updates has just been released, and the next one is coming within the next 7 days. Expect more, as we will update frequently whenever new improvements are ready. After the holidays, we'll continue working. We'll release 2 large patches, starting with patch 1 in January. This will be followed by patch 2 in February. Together, these should fix the most prominent problems gamers are facing on last-gen consoles. We will be informing you about the contents of each patch ahead of their release. They won't make the game on last gen look like it's running on a high-spec PC or next-gen console, but it will be closer to that experience than it is now. Finally, we would also like everyone who buys our games to be satisfied with their purchase. We would appreciate if you would give us a chance, but if you're not pleased with the game on your console and don't want to wait for updates, you can opt to refund your copy. For copy purchased digitally, please use the refund system of PSN or Xbox, respectively. For boxed versions, please first try to get a refund at the store where you bought the game. Should this not be possible, please contact us at this email address and we'll do our best to help you. Starting from today, you can contact us for a week up until December 21st. P.S. PC gamers, we will also be getting regular updates and fixes improving this game. Alright, let's talk about this. The first sentence. It's great that they are apologizing, but I unfortunately have to say, apologizing after a very much malicious attempt to just sell more units and knowing that the game is not up to snuff rings very hollow. You knew about this, and you choose not to show the game, and even more so when magazines and reviewers actually asked you for a code of the old gen consoles. You were like, sorry, can't do that. And it's like, oh, come on, man. And I said that yesterday on Twitter. Keep in mind, please, that CD Projekt Red has tried that before. This isn't the first time. They tried the same thing with The Witcher 3. If somebody still remembers, The Witcher 3 had an official 10 minutes or 20 minutes of gameplay on the official Xbox channel showing Xbox gameplay. Till people realized, wait a second, this is running at 60 FPS. This is running at 1080p. This is the PC version you are showing here. And then, of course, Microsoft had to release a statement because it was their channel, and they were like, oh, we are totally sorry about this, but this is the footage CDPR gave us, and we just used that, but we didn't check it, and oh, this is totally on us. And it's like, no, Microsoft. You rely on the developer to give you the right footage, right? Like, if a developer is coming to you and is telling you, here's the Xbox footage for your channel, and you are not getting the Xbox footage, you know, it's like, yeah. It's not, like, to make this very clear, I'm not complaining that CDPR is a PC developer first and foremost. They have always been one. I mean, The Witcher 1 was an exclusive PC game, and they tried to bring it to console, but then didn't do it. And then the other games, like, they slowly tried to bring stuff to console. Like, CDPR is a PC developer, first and foremost. So I'm not blaming them for that. I'm blaming them for maliciously, because they wanted to sell units, they wanted to make money, hide the fact. They were knowing what's coming. Like, these are not like small bugs which sometimes fall through or sometimes don't get noticed because, well, they tested the game on 20 consoles, right? And those 20 consoles did run well, so they were like, yeah, cool. No, we are talking about completely game-breaking system issues. And something like that doesn't fall through. Like, no. Definitely not. But here we are, and it's like, nah, man. I'm sorry. I'm not buying that apology. Like, this is one of the things where I have to say no. This is an apology put out just in the sake for it, but you don't really mean it. Because if you would have mean it, like, you wouldn't have done it before. They should have, like, if you didn't want to cut the development for the last gen consoles, you could have at least postponed it. And now they are saying, like, yeah, we are working around the clock for those patches. In January, you were getting patch 1, and then followed by patch 2 in February. Excuse me? February? What? That's a bit too late. So it's like, yeah, you should have just postponed it. You should have just postponed it. Like, you could have released the PC version, you could have released the next gen thing. Well, technically the next gen consoles are not playing the next gen version of Cyberpunk, they are playing the game over backwards compatible. But you could have done something about it. Or you could have pushed out a warning and be like, hey folks, like, maybe you don't want to use this on your old consoles. And I mean, when they first showcased like Xbox One X and PlayStation 4 Pro footage instead of the base games, like, I already knew what was up. Like, when they released the footage on those consoles instead of, like, you know, the base consoles, I knew what was up there. Like, I was still hoping I would be wrong. Like, I said it when they showed the footage. And I was like, uh-oh, I have a bad feeling about this. And, well, I was unfortunately right. Finally, we would always, like every one of our guests here in the room, we would appreciate if you would give us a chance. Well, you had that chance and you threw it out of the window. But if you're not pleased with the game on your console, you wouldn't wait for updates, you can opt to refund your copy. Okay. Well, no, as it turns out. Because especially Sony It seems like Microsoft is giving a little bit more of like leeway here, but especially Sony seems to be very, very strict about their refund policy. Like, hey, you're not allowed to start it up, you're not allowed to play it that long, yada yada. And Sony is basically telling all the people who are trying to refund Cyberpunk right now, shove it. Like, we are not giving you back your money. And let's be honest here, why would Sony? They probably sell multiple million copies of Cyberpunk, and they are making what, 30%? 40% or something like that on the consoles? Sony is not giving back that money. Crazy? Give me a second, I have to sneeze again. Man, what is going on today? I don't know. Weird. Hey, Mr. Skyroby. Good morning to you. But yeah, so Sony is basically showing most of the people the middle finger if they're asking for refunds. And it seems like that at least Microsoft is very forthcoming here. And it's like, yeah, okay, we give you the money back. So that's at least something, but Sony is a dick. As always, as some people would say. But yeah, this is... It's not great. It's not great. And then, of course, there is the Ryzen bug for the PC. So if you've missed that, most Ryzen users, not all, but most Ryzen users have the problem that basically Cyberpunk is not using the hyper-threading, so it's not using the virtual cores. It only uses the physical cores. And so in my case, what that means is I have an 8-core CPU with 16, well, I have technically 16 cores, like 8 physical ones and 8 virtual ones, so you have 16 altogether, right? Like that's how it works on Intel and AMD. And for whatever reason, on AMD, Cyberpunk is only utilizing the physical cores, but is completely ignoring the digital cores. On Intel, it works fine. No problems whatsoever. I was like, how did something like that slip through? Like, that's like a major thing. You're basically axing 50% of the performance of the CPU. Like, didn't you test AMD on your systems? Like, what happened here? And thankfully there is a workaround for this, but what the workaround does, it stretches the game on all the cores, which also means that all the technology which is shifting around data and who's trying to use like the cores on need basis and whatnot, right? Like, just stretching the game out on all cores might improve performance, but it's not really a great solution because, well, what CPUs are doing, as I said, like they are switching data around the cores, and some cores who have also like the highest megahertz are like getting most of the data and whatnot. Like there's much more going on when it comes to moving games around on the CPU. And unfortunately, the workaround is not applying that. Like the workaround is literally just saying, okay, use all the cores you have. That's it. Like, there's not much else going on. So actually, CDPR, even with the workaround in effect, CDPR has to go there and has to apply a real fix for AMD gamers. And they have to do that fast. Like, how that basically slipped through is just unbelievable. But TLDR, Cyberpunk would have been doing great to just be postponed. And interestingly enough, the shareholders didn't like this at all. The shareholders didn't like this at all. Like, wow. That is... Ooh. Yeah, all that bad press. Like, that is not normal market fluctuation. This is not normal market fluctuation. Like, even on release, when some people are selling their shares, that is not normal. Like, that is not normal in any shape or form. So people are pissed. Shareholders are not happy. Yeah, like the game has been breaking sales record left and right and became basically the fastest selling PC game of all time. Like, this game is making bank, but shareholders are just not happy with it because actually a market analyst said it pretty well. One of the things why CDPR can do what they are doing, like taking years and years and years to release a new game, and they know they will just get their money back and make much, much more money, is because people trust CDPR. CDPR has a lot of like value, which you cannot really calculate with money, but trust. Because people believe that CDPR stands for quality, no matter what they are doing. And with the release of Cyberpunk, they completely damaged that trust. They completely damaged the image of a company who is about quality. It's a little bit like Blizzard, right? Where Blizzard has been always held to higher standards, and people were always like, yeah, but it's Blizzard, man. It's Blizzard. We are getting quality. And this is apparently one of the reasons why a lot of shareholders were like, yeah, but what's for the future? Like, okay, Cyberpunk did actually sell super duper well, but what's with the next project? And you need that trust if you want to take like another 5, 6, 7 years to actually develop that game. So we don't see that trust right now. So we are going. Yeah, that's also, of course, one of the issues, right, Sakura? What you just said. People have really forgotten the Witcher releases. Apparently, like the Witcher 1. Okay, I will. That was their first game. And they were basically just, it was their first game. It wasn't great. And then The Witcher 2 came around, but that was also like kind of a mess when it came out. And the same goes with Witcher 3. Like, yes, they improved every time, but the release of those games was certainly not perfect. Like, yeah. Yeah. So it sucks. It sucks. It really does. But yeah, that was the Cyberpunk news. Lots of stuff going on. And especially Sony. It's like, oh, come on, Sony. Don't be a dick here. Please. Alright, quick news. December 16th marks the 5th anniversary of Kojima Productions. And apparently they will have some exciting updates you won't want to miss. And that is on tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow at, wow, 12 a.m. EST. Yes, 12 a.m. Not p.m. a.m. which is 6 a.m. my time. And that's apparently where they will make some announcements. So when we are waking up, and we have Mole in the morning tomorrow, we would talk about the announcements, whatever that might be. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just some new statues and merchandise. Like, who knows? Who knows, right? Like, I would have assumed if Kojima has anything to show for, they would have probably used the Game Awards. Because Kojima and Jeff Keighley are like buddies, right? So, yeah, I would have assumed if they have something to show, they would have done that last week. And because they didn't, it's probably not much. Besides of, hey folks, we are working at our new game. And it's like, pray tell. Like, really? Okay. Who would have expected that? Alright. Next news. So, if you were still trying to get your head around this, Arc 2 has been announced last week at the Game Awards, and they did so with a cinematic trailer, and Vin Diesel was in the cinematic trailer, right? It's like, yeah, okay, Vin Diesel in Arc 2. And he's also apparently the hero, which is Santiago in Arc 2. But, and this is the really interesting part here, he is also working at the game as an executive producer. Yeah. That's like, huh. Oh, I mean, here's the thing. Vin Diesel has actually meddled in gaming before. Like, he owns the studio who made Riddick. And then they never made another game ever again. Which is like interesting. But yeah, I'm not really sure what he is doing. Like, unfortunately, they're not really explaining what the executive producer is doing exactly. But that's a fancy title. But what is far more interesting is that apparently Arc 2 is to be an exclusive for the Xbox Series X and Series S. Which probably still means it's coming to the PC. So, yeah. It's interesting. But hey, makes sense. Like, Vin Diesel is a gamer, and he loves D&D. Like, he is what you would call a D&D fanatic. There was, I think there was an interview on YouTube once where they were interviewing him about D&D, and then he was going like completely into D&D jargon, He was just like like firing all the D&D stuff, and you could see how the interviewer, who was, I think it was for the last Fast and Furious movie, who was just sitting there, was like, what the hell did he just talk about? Like apparently Vin Diesel was like going deep into like what his character stats are, what he's trying to achieve, and the lore story about his character and whatnot. And you could see the interviewer just be like, can we talk about cars again? He is also a huge D&D nerd. And he's been apparently playing since the first edition, actually. Like that's his shtick, like his free time stuff. When he's not saving the world, he's saving the world in D&D. So yeah, I'm doing D&D stuff now. Nice. Nice. Let me see. Oh yeah, he even had like a... Oh, that's cool. For his birthday, he even had a D&D cake this year. Huh. Oh yeah. Oh, that's interesting. I just have Googled it super quickly. Apparently, like he said in an interview, Riddick is apparently his D&D character. Like he started Riddick as a D&D character and then brought it into the movies. Well, that's interesting. Oh, well. That's super interesting. Apparently, like all the demeanor, the look, the basically like the burly barbarian character and all that stuff, and all the night vision and whatnot, that's all like his first D&D character. And he was just like, yeah, let's put that into the movie. Let's just take my D&D character and makes it a movie. Nerds. Nerd! But yeah, so apparently he is the executive producer for Arc 2, which is interesting. I mean, he apparently knows a lot about video games and whatnot, so sure. Sure. Right? I was like, yeah, cannot get worse. Like as some of the other stuff we have seen over the years, so why not? Yeah. oh, you're developing a one-shot. I find one-shots, I have to admit, I don't like one-shots necessarily. Like, I understand why they exist, right? And they're good for people who don't have the time. But I also find them extremely hard. Yeah. I find it extremely hard to do one shots because everything has to be done in, well, one go or two goes sometimes, depending on it. Like, they have to be very, very quick, and I always find that a bit it's alright, but not my fan. I'm not a fan of it. Yeah, sure. Like, again, I understand why they exist and how they work and all that. It's just like, I'm not a fan of them. That's all. That's all. It's a personal thing. Like, most games don't make it past level 10. Fair point. Sure. Like, it really depends on how much XP you are giving to the people. Like, it really depends. So, yeah, again, I am official stats. Alright. But yeah, I understand why one-shots exist and why people like them. I'm just not a fan of it. So, that's that. Alright. Man, this was in news yesterday, or the first rumor of that news came about on Sunday, but it's now official. Good old Old Electronic Arts has agreed a deal to acquire Codemasters for approximately 1.2 billion US dollars. The acquisition, which is expected to complete in the first quarter of 2021, is based on the price of per share, yada yada yada. And this is actually really interesting. If you remember, it was actually Take-Two who was in the talks with Codemasters, and they sorted something out like, what was it, 784 million or something like that. And people were like, all right, Take-Two is taking Codemasters. Makes sense. Then EA was swooping in and was like, we have the much, much more juicier deal. Like, you know, the billion deal. Come on, take it. And that's apparently what they did. They took the juicier deal, and now they will become a part of EA, which is fascinating. Because when you look at EA and look at their racing games like Burnout, Need for Speed, right? I wouldn't necessarily say that EA handled those IPs very well in the last few years. Yes, I enjoyed the last Need for Speed. I think that the last Need for Speed was actually up to par with the older Need for Speed games, but I don't know how the selling figures were. I have no clue on that. But it's like EA hasn't really done their racing IPs justice, in my opinion. So, okay, maybe Codemasters is exactly what they need. Like, they need a specialist. They need somebody who has been doing nothing else for the last 10 years than just releasing racing games every year. Yes, maybe that is exactly what EA wanted, what EA needed to push their racing area. But it's just, you know, we will see where it goes. We will see how it goes. But we all know what happens to EA studios when they are not living up to the hype. So, whoop, whoop, wah. So, yeah, maybe it will be good. Maybe we are finally getting some Need for Speed games and other good racing games. And after a few years, I will sit here and say, man, you know what? EA buying Codemasters? That was a good decision. That was a good decision. But I hope so. Like, I wish those devs and those IPs nothing but the best. Always do. Like, I don't have grudges against anyone. I don't hold grudges against companies and what they're doing. I remember them. Like, I remember when they screw up. But I don't hold grudges. Because people change. The people who are leading those companies change. I mean, we have seen that with Blizzard, with EA, with BioWare, like so many other studios, where people come and go, and then sometimes the quality goes up, the quality goes down, and sometimes the quality becomes lemons. The way of the life, man. Way of life. I do. Look, man. Look. Am I happy with what EA did with BioWare? Hell, with the Battlefield series over the years? No. I think they have stifled an evolution of those games for far too long. Especially Battlefield. Like, what has really changed? What has really changed? Like, the only Battlefield who tried to be a little bit different this one time after Bad Company 2 was basically Battlefield 1. But then all the other Battlefield games were basically the same thing. And there were no improvements. So, like, don't get me wrong. Dead Space, like how they handled that IP, sure, I will also not forget that. And I'm still very much unhappy about it. BioWare, Anthem, like the last big blunder. Yeah, sure. Sure. There is enough reason to be unhappy with EA and how they handle things. And then leave alone the whole loot box bullshit. So Wow. Okay, this is news who just came in. Like, literally just came in. Man. Okay, so I didn't really talk about this news because I ignored it last week because there wasn't really something here. Like, it looked like a routine for me, and I was just like, nah, it's not that important. It's like, oh yeah, and water is wet. Right? So, but apparently things happened, so this is why I pick it up now. Last week, there has been news that a 6-year-old called Rowdy Rogan was banned permanently from Call of Duty Warzone. And he was trying to compete in the Phase 5 competition where NRENs around the world have to do a variety of challenges to join FaZe Clan, which is like a well-known esports clan. And Rowdy Rogan, again 6 years old, had made it through the final 20. And yeah, he has been playing Warzone because like 6-year-old is playing Warzone, okay, but under parental supervision, so that's at least something. And he then announced that he got banned by Activision because, well, they found out that he is 6 years old and this is a mature game, and you also have to be like, 13 years old to have an account, so they banned him permanently. And that was the part where I was just like, yeah. I mean, yeah. He's 6 years, man. He is 6 years. Like, don't get me wrong, but I'm not sure if a 6-year-old should join a esports clan. Like, why? I always find it always a little bit skeptical when a 12-year-old or 13-year-old is like going into esports, right? And it's like making a career out of it. And I'm like, really? I'm not sure if that is the right age, but well, all right. So I was not really like talking too much about it. Yeah, I'm not sure if a 6-year-old should really play Warzone. Like 6 years. I mean, I have played video games with 6, but I have played some crazy video games like Sonic. Well, there was this Mickey Mouse and the Elusive Castle or something like that, what it was on the Sega Mega Drive. That was the games I was playing. Or Eco the Dolphin. Like, you know, Ico, not Eco, Ico, yeah, something like that. Names, I'm bad at it. But, well, apparently a lot of people saw that differently. Echo, yeah, Echo, not Ico. Echo, thank you. The dolphin game, you know what I mean. You know exactly what I mean because you're all boomers like me. You boomers, you. No, I'm actually not a boomer. I'm a true millennial. Worst. Oh yeah, Echo was crazy, man. Echo was like, actually a lot of like the Sega games were not necessarily like easy. Vintage millennial, yeah, vintage millennial. Like, unfortunately, let's say I'm just less millennial than a lot of other people. But unfortunately, I'm counting into millennial already. Yeah. I was this close. I was this close to not be counted as millennial. I missed it. I missed the window. I was seeing the Gen X window and I was like, no. And I got dragged into the millennial window. And I was like, no. How are you doing, Legend? Good to see you. There was my window. I could have been a Gen X. One of us. My brother is actually a true millennial. Like, my brother is like, he's 10 years younger than I am, right? And he's like full-on millennial. Like, full-on millennial. But back to the news. Back to the news. So people were apparently really pissed about this, and they were piling on Activision, and they were like, hey, you cannot just ban people for that. They have like parental supervision, like the parents are watching when he is playing, when he is also like doing YouTube stuff, yada yada yada. How dare you, Activision? And Activision, being Activision, just not really reacting to it, besides of, hey, we have our rules and you know, the usual standard stuff. Well, as it turns out, this was all fake. This was all fake because one of the challenges he got from FaZe was to create a viral video, and apparently the 6-year-old was then suggesting that he should get banned, and this is a good way of getting attention. Which, well, it apparently worked. But this was all staged. He didn't get banned. So yeah. But, and this is rather interesting, this is what the FaZe boss has been saying about it, and he is saying that what finalists choose to do with those tasks and how they approach each challenge is also being assessed, not just the quantitative results. A broad challenge is more emblematic of what the experience will be like in FaZe, since a key goal of ours is to support our talent's vision of their individual career. The judging process is not mathematical. It's far more qualitative than quantitative. Our methodology, and process is proprietary and not something we share. The FaZe boss, yes. So what he's basically saying, like, hey, just because you had a viral video doesn't necessarily mean you managed the challenge, especially in this case. Warzone and Call of Duty is definitely one of those things which are very important for those esport communities and esport organizations. And pissing off Activision, or, well, directing an angry mob to Activision is probably not the best idea. Let's just say that. Like, how to redirect angry people to, like, sponsors and whatnot. Like, but hey, that's what you get when you're allowing like a 6-year-old into this challenge. Like, they should have just said right from the beginning, sorry, but you were too young. Like, of course, for the 6-year-old, this was just a joke, right? This was just a prank, and it worked. Like, he's not really to blame, because he is 6 years old. He doesn't assess what they do to a game, what that means to a company, what that means to the people who have to manage the social media and whatnot. Like, he's not thinking about that. He's 6 years old. When I was 6, I was thinking about Sonic, kindergarten, Bob, who is teasing me next day, and having my first crush on somebody. I don't know. And oh yeah, I totally forgot. Building like mud houses or something like that. That was my childhood with 6. Like you are not assessing the situation as a 6-year-old. This is why you also sometimes have parents who do that for you. I know, crazy, absolutely crazy parents. Who needs them, right? Like, no good doers. But no, for real, the point is just you cannot really blame the 6-year-old. Like, if you want to blame somebody for this one, like blame the parents. They should have said like, yeah, maybe that's not a good idea. But then again, I also have to say like, Face Clan, come on. Can you please tell the 6-year-old to just come back in like 12 years? Or 6, 7, 8 years maybe? Yeah, there is a reason for that. Like, of course, laws are one of the main reasons, but especially esports has really changed. Like, I remember when I was in the esports scene with Warcraft 3. That was like, what, 18 years ago? And I was only a commentator. I was not good enough to play in esports, and I didn't really try. But I was a commentator at that point. Yes, I did commentating. Hey, I love to talk. You know me. I love to talk. But you basically did it for fun. You did it for fun, and maybe if you had a big tournament, like a huge one, with 60 people watching, right? You maybe got a medium priced GPU or CPU out of it when you got first. And that was it. Esports nowadays is $1 million thing, where you can make a lot of money, where companies are making a lot of money, where sponsors are making a lot of money. So that completely evolved. And again, I am not sure if that is an area you should throw in a 6-year-old. Especially because and this hasn't really to do with an age, but a lot of people underestimate what that means for them when it comes to gaming. Because a lot of those people play those games for fun, and they are good at what they are doing. They are better than 99% of the rest. But the moment they're going into esports, they're not playing against the 99% of the rest anymore. They are playing against the 1%, and then it comes down to putting in 9-10 hours of just playing that game every day, no matter if you want to or if you don't want to. Like, it's becoming a job. Because you're also getting paid as if you would do a job. And a lot of people underestimate what happens then. Like, let me tell you this. As somebody who has been dreaming about the possibility to get into the gaming industry, work in the gaming industry, and become a gaming reviewer, because my dream was basically, as a 16-year-old, was to sit at home testing video games, giving my opinion to it, and eating pizza all day. Why? Because I was a 16-year-old. I was a teen. You know. And then 6 years later, I got exactly that gig. I got my dream. And fascinatingly enough, my dream disappeared very quickly. Because I then realized, A, it's totally not as I dreamed. Like, that's not what you were doing. And it became a job. There was a lot of pressure involved, time pressure. That Like there was so much more involved in this than just sitting at home playing video games and then blurping something in the microphone, or just like typing on your WordPress and then putting down a review. Like there's so much more going into it. Yeah, the reality got in the way. Like it's becoming a job. Streaming. I see a lot of streamers nowadays. Like everyone's dreaming about becoming a streamer. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people are dreaming about becoming the big streamer, becoming like a celebrity, and then just playing video games all day, till they then realize very quickly that's not how it works. Like if you want to become a streamer nowadays, there's so much more going into this. Social media, having multiple channels, multiple platforms, having sponsors, reaching out to developers, publishers, writing emails, looking at your data. There's so much more going on you never see as a viewer, and you don't want to see as a viewer because it's absolutely boring, believe me. It's the most boring thing which is basically happening in streaming. But it's I always try to compare this with an amusement park, right? Like you see, like as a visitor, you're coming into an amusement park and you're having fun. It's a free time. You are there to enjoy your time. And everyone behind the scene is working on making that a reality. That you had a good time and you come back at some point. But that's the thing. You don't normally peek behind the curtain as a visitor. As a visitor, you have your fun. But the moment you are starting to think, oh man, Disney World was so fun. I loved all of it. I want to work there. You will probably realize very quickly that, that is not like what you will see when you work there. Because you're working behind the scene. So, like, that's the case with a lot of amusement jobs. It's great to be there as a visitor. But for the people who are doing the job, it's a job. That doesn't mean it cannot be fun. Like, don't get me wrong, I love streaming. I love what I'm doing here. Like, if I wouldn't love what I'm doing here, I wouldn't done that with 4 years without taking even a vacation, right? And working like sometimes 10 hours a day for weeks and weeks and weeks, or even months. Like, you cannot do that if you're not enjoying what you were doing. Like, you will break at some point. And thankfully I can say I didn't break because I enjoy what I'm doing. But this is why I also took like a break, or well, taking some days off in December, because after all those years, even I noticed a little bit that I need a breather here and there. Nothing big, nothing crazy. I don't need months and months off. But it's like, yeah, you have to love your job. And a lot of people realize that they maybe don't want to do that as a job and just as a fun side thing. And you know what? That's completely fine. And the same goes back to esports. Like, sure, it's amazing to see what esport became, and watching esports can be an amazing experience. Like, I'm watching. Same for living in Florida. Great to visit. Yeah, I can totally see that. But no, it's like esports, right? You see those esports events and you think, wow, look at this. Wow. Yeah, but the stress behind the scenes is high. It's a job. It's a job which builds on appeasing the masses which come to visit. So, yeah. And I'm not sure if a 6-year-old can grasp the reality of it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. All right. With that said, folks, we are done with the news. Yes, we are done with the news. But before we leave, because we didn't do that, and I haven't watched it yet, you know what time it is? Because we didn't do that on Friday, and I'm actually kind of upset that we didn't do that. So let's do it right now.
This is highlight reel for December 10th, 2020, and we're here to show you some of the best recent clips from around the gaming world in Ghost Recon at East Soldier.
Whatever happened to loyalty to country? You should have killed that engineer.
Ubisoft games.
If you could protect a man like that, what's to keep you from selling information yourself?
Fuck you. I had orders and I was following them.
Orders? Orders? Your orders got my men killed. They aided an enemy. I'll take your orders and shove them up your ass.
Walker. Now this shit gets dirty.
In For Honor, Death by
Oh, that's brutal.
In Demon Souls, Punishment Time with a shout out to their deceased brother Monokuma.
What? Also that music.
Destiny 2, the knife worked.
I would love to have another Danganronpa game. I would definitely. Oh, the knife was like what? Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I would love to have another Danganronpa game.
Hi, honey. Did you make it to the thief shelter okay?
Almost there.
In Just Cause 4, just walk it off.
Happened to me
In
actually.
Skyrim, what do you need?
What do you need?
Also in Skyrim, all according to plan.
What? I mean, sure, nice trick shot. Oh, what is that? Ah.
Going to Valhalla.
Wait, didn't we have this last week?
Kids trying
Something
to be
like
in
that.
Nier Automata. Even the dying wolves in this game have a sense of humor.
This game is so broken. This game is so, like, weirdly broken.
In Rainbow Six,
That's a penis.
close.
Nah.
In Black Ops, denied.
Denied.
Their most calculated throw yet.
That was good. No way.
Oh, I would be glad.
It's gonna be so hard. Oh my god, it's so far! It's so far! Oh! It bounced off. Oh! Oh my god!
They accidentally launched their teammate.
Okay, that's pretty sick. Mistakes were made.
Justice League assemble.
Ah, good old Call of Duty physics. Physics.
Very Cold War.
There's a person who's just naked on our team. They have no... what? They have no hair or no clothes.
I mean...
In Warzone, no allies and no plates here. Just a Semtex, a Juggernaut, and a Dream.
Don't shame them.
This is Striker 3-1, good copy. Strike him. Impact, no joy.
Oh, damn.
Enemy juggernauts. Looks good to me.
Okay, that was pretty good.
Imagine being this sniper.
Reloading. Got Bravo.
Wow!
In Breath of the Wild, simple spin, but it works.
That's a cheese tactic.
It's
Just saying.
hard to make this look this easy.
Oh, you installed Warzone a couple of weeks ago.
Hello, goodbye.
It's a flying link? Oh. The switch didn't load. Wow.
In Watch Dogs, a different way to break a security box.
Okay. I mean, that works.
Majestic Donuts.
I love the music in the background.
Gotta move.
In Ace Combat 7, the plane appears to be undamaged.
I mean, it's fine, right? It's fine.
In Project Wingman, smooth landing.
Oh, I still have to check this game out. I still have to check this game out, man. I heard so many good things about it.
Here's another way to land.
I heard so many good things about this game. Right.
And another option. Most people see a bunch of cranes. A pilot sees a tunnel.
Physics. Okay.
GTA parking.
Fucking the best mechanic in the do for you.
Well, apparently needing a new
Have
car.
moment that makes you wonder what you're doing with your life.
This is how you actually use a ladder. Yeah, that's how you do it. The tank is so confused.
Half luck.
You got ahead, man.
Thank you for your service, fireman.
Oh. Wow.
Cyberpunk is here, and it's buggy. Let's start with this NPC entering the void.
All down. Let meet. Probably not the last of them. Move on. Move on. I'm behind you, V.
I had similar issues yesterday.
Oh shit! Holy shit! I threw him into the void!
Man, everyone's got it out for her.
Oh yeah. 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 Yeah.
That is just beautiful.
Why's everyone got it out for me?
Fantastic performance.
I don't know. Maybe we should talk about that.
You gotta love the timing on these police introductions.
Oh yeah.
There's gotta be a more efficient way to do this.
Let's get out of here. That'll get us to the garage direct.
Good work. Shit show's over.
Jacking in.
Sure. Why the hell not?
Scene from Austin Powers.
Oh. Dude, you are leaking. I don't know if you noticed. What? Are you? What?
What's that?
Sick drums.
How to protect his biz.
Hey, this guy's drums looks pretty cool. Go back and look at that guy's drums.
Sick drums, dude.
Kids these days.
Kids these days.
Right?
Am I being detained?
If I get a tip about a possible attack, I'll give you a call.
Oh yeah, this happened to us. I heard that a lot of people had this bug.
But remember, you're not there to instigate anybody. Try to incapacitate the attacker.
This is so weird.
Hang on, gotta go.
What the intro looks like without an SSD.
Oh. Oh.
I think Jackie's speedrunning the game.
Oh god. We will have a lot of videos.
This chase is riveting.
Oh no, he's...
This has been Highlight Reel. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more, and to visit and share the affiliated clips in the description below. This show is community supported, so please consider making it on Patreon. And if you have a clip that you'd like on Highlight Reel, please send it to clips@highlightreel.info. Thanks to all our patrons, and a special thanks to these producer-level patrons.
Kids these days.
Right? Kids these days. Man, I tell you. I think we will have a lot of highlight reels in the next few weeks, which will all be about that Cyberpunk, man. All about the Cyberpunk. And I will be here for it, because I love the game, I love to play the game. But man, is it buggy. Like, yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's pretty great. All right, folks. With that said, though, we are done for now, at least. We are done with the gaming news, and we are done with the stream. I will take my leave here. I might come back at some point. And play more Cyberpunk, because let's be honest here, I love the game. I really do. But yeah, I'm done for now. And then we will be back tomorrow, I think. Like it depends. I don't really want to say definitely being back tomorrow, because as I said, I will just take random days off. And yeah, we will see. We will see. But yeah, with that said, folks, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining me. I keep you posted. And then we will see. But I will definitely pop up here and there to play some more Cyberpunk, because let's be honest here, I have a problem. No, it's not the buggy game. It's actually that I have fun with the game. And yeah, keep an eye out on my Twitter and my Discord. I keep it posted. And then we will have more of that coming your way. Again, thank you so much for watching. I will probably see you tomorrow at 8 AM EST with more in the morning in the gaming news. And then maybe some Cyberpunk, maybe nothing. I will see. Until then, have an awesome day yourself. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Kitchen.